guys, welcome back to another video, and today I am here with one of the longest awaited continuations in my channel's history. What if Deku was Godzilla Part 3? So yeah, I am very sorry with how long it took for me to record this. Really, I have no excuse. But one thing I do have an excuse on is why it's been taking me so long to record in the first place. I was, getting milk. Yeah, I went to the store to get milk, and, the line was very, very long. Very long. And, I didn't have my phone with me, so I couldn't record in the line. So I'm so sorry. And in case you guys don't believe me, I have my expired milk, definitely not water, right here. That was definitely not water. Here, I'll take a sip of my very expired milk. Definitely doesn't taste good. Nope. Definitely doesn't taste like water. Because it isn't water. Duh, it's expired milk. Definitely. So yeah, guys, I'm very sorry that my Discord really hasn't been active. But you can change that if you guys join the link in the description. That is my Discord link. It is free. Don't worry, all it takes is one click, and you can have almost a 90% chance to talk with me, because I don't always reply to the comments. You know, you may leave a suggestion for a what if in the comments, but I will most likely kind of phase over it. But if you want a 90% chance of me seeing that suggestion and possibly replying to that, then make sure to go to the link in the description and join my Discord. And time to move on to the sponsor to this video, me. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. And since this is a continuation, the like goal for this video will be 30 likes. If we can get it to 30 likes or 50 in the first week, then I will create a part 4 within that timestamp. So make sure to get the like goal, or hit the like goal, hit the like button. And then while you're at it, make sure to subscribe, and while you're at it, United States of Smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. So yeah, previously on What If Deku was Godzilla. You're mine! As Deku sees All Might rushing at him, as All Might throws a 1000% United States of Smash straight into Deku's stomach. As Deku staggers backward, Deku quickly tries to tail swipe him away, but All Might dodges and goes in for another United States of Smash. But this time Deku swats him away. But this only staggered All Might, as All Might launches back at Deku, as Deku realizes how ferocious All Might's attacks are. He tries to dodge and attack All Might, but it doesn't work. All Might quickly launches another 1000% United States of Smash straight into Deku's jaw, causing Deku to stagger backwards a couple steps. Deku quickly swipes All Might with his large claws, but All Might dodges and lands on Deku's shoulder as he starts running towards Deku's head. Deku tries to scratch at All Might and get him off of him, but it's futile. He can't get him off of him. As All Might's running up Deku's shoulder, Deku grabs All Might and throws him into the ground. As Deku's about to step on All Might, All Might gets up and launches at Deku's foot, punching it. Deku knows this is a futile attempt, as Deku puts his foot down with all of his weight. But All Might quickly escapes before Deku's foot hits the ground. As All Might starts running up Deku's leg, Deku uses his tail to swipe All Might off, but this was futile, as All Might launches at Deku and throws 20 smashes in all. This barely phases Deku, but it does cause him to stagger a little bit, as Deku swipes at him again and misses. As All Might launches back at Deku again, Deku grabs him and throws him to the ground, but this time, he starts charging up his atomic breath. As his dorsal fins start to turn blue, All Might realizes what's about to happen, as he's seen it all before. As All Might quickly gets up and launches at All Might to try... Oh, sorry for that. As All Might launches at Deku to try and stop him, All Might, with all of his might, punches Deku with a 1,000,000 United States of Smash! Straight into Deku's stomach, causing Deku to lose balance and fall onto the ground. As Deku launches his atomic breath up into the sky, incinerating a bird that was flying by. Deku tries to get back up, but All Might throws another 1,000,000% smash straight into Deku's jaw, knocking one of Deku's prehistoric teeth out, as Deku can't hold it back anymore. His prehistoric predator instincts kick in, as Deku stops playing around and tries to bite All Might. All Might quickly dodges and realizes Deku isn't playing around anymore. Well, he doesn't think Deku, he doesn't know Godzilla is Deku, but you get what I'm saying. As All Might starts flying around Deku with his power. Well, he doesn't have a flying power, but he's using his strength to fly around, like how he normally does. Like how we saw him fly in episode 1 of My Hero Academia. That's basically what he's doing right now. As he starts flying around Deku, Deku's just watching him as All Might gets around to Deku's back and launches at one of Deku's dorsal fins. And with his strongest punch yet, he punches the dorsal fin, cracking it. As Deku screams in pain, he turns around and tail swipes All Might straight into a building. As Deku tackles the building, causing the entire thing to collapse onto All Might and tripping Deku up. As Deku falls onto the ground, Deku starts to get up when he hears something. He hears a screech, like a calling. He doesn't know why, but it sounds so much like him, so familiar. He gets up and listens as he calls back to this voice. In kaiju language, he says, "Hello? Who are you?" But all Might hears is roaring. As the voice says, "You will meet me soon enough." In one of the most beautiful voices Deku has ever heard. He asks, "Wait, don't go." As Deku reaches out to a light shaped like a butterfly in the distance. As the voice says, "Don't worry, we'll meet again." As the voice starts to fade, as so does the light. Deku says, "Wait! Wait!" As it disappears, he can no longer hear the beautiful song that the creature or person was singing. As Deku realizes and kicks out of his predator mode and realizes he has an escape route. As he starts running away, All Might digs himself out and chases after Deku. As Deku turns the corner through one of the buildings and quickly untransforms. As All Might's about to reach the corner, he sees a giant bolt of lightning strike right behind the building. As All Might says, "I got you now!" As he turns the corner to see nothing, Deku quickly ducked inside of the building. As All Might lands onto the ground, he looks around and says, "Dang it! He got away." As All Might's vision starts to get blurry as he passes out from exhaustion. Deku quickly runs back home. When All Might wakes up, he sees Recovery Girl sipping some tea as she looks at All Might and says, "You really need to take it down a notch," as she slaps All Might. And All Might says, "Ow!" As Recovery Girl says, "Ugh, sorry. But you really need to take it down a notch. You could have died there." Man. As All Might says, "I had to. It risked the student's safety." And then she says, "If you didn't realize, that thing saved one of our students. If anything, you," as she pokes All Might in the shoulder, hurting All Might, "you risked the safety of all the students by causing that big, humongous fight. How do we know this thing is so bad in the first place?" As All Might says, "It's the thing that caused my injury and killed hundreds of thousands of people all those years ago." And she says, "Oh yeah, you got a good point. But All Might, you need to take a break." As All Might says, "Crime never takes a..." And then she says, "We have other heroes. Right now, it appears All For One is in hiding. Number 2, that thing only seems to appear every couple years. And number 3, again, we have other heroes. Right now, we know of no other threats that are existing right now causing mayhem. Yeah, All For One could be doing stuff in the background, but if you were to go into hiding, he probably wouldn't make a move unless he necessarily knew where you were. So you need to take it easy. Because for all you know, you could probably increase your time in your big, buff, cute, sexy-looking form. No homo." And All Might says, "But..." And then she says, "That's why you're losing time in that sexy mode of yours. No homo. But that is always the reason. You never stop to think, All Might, what if you were to take a break? Do you think it's possible that could increase your time in that big, beautiful form of yours? Do you think it could?" And All Might says, "Maybe you're right. But right now I need to find a successor, so I can't go on break quite yet." And she says, "You could have died there, All Might. You could have died. And I don't know if I can keep on doing this. I really can't. I'm sorry I keep on switching voices. I'm trying to mimic her voice, but I'm not too good at it. So yeah. You could have died there, All Might. What happens if next time you die and you don't get a successor before that? Are you just going to keep on risking not only the safety of thousands by starting unneeded fights like the one you just fought that if that were in a real city, probably could have literally remade the whole situation all those years ago, but without All For One. You need to think about this, All Might. As she says, tomorrow, instead of going with the students to the USJ, just take a break, okay? Just chill out, alright? I'm sure Eraserhead and 8 are... Sorry, I forgot her name. 13. 13 can handle it. They're 2 of our best heroes, All Might. And they're any more capable to handle a small little villain attack than you are. They're just as capable. So just take it easy tomorrow, okay? If anything happens, I'll make sure to tell them to call you. But I doubt anything will happen as the USJ is on UA property, guarded by some of the strongest walls, or most impenetrable walls on the planet. And just a couple miles away are hundreds, well, maybe not hundreds, but at least almost 20 to 10 heroes, pro heroes, may I add. And some of them are in the top 10, like yourself, who are ready to assist at any moment. So everything is under control. So, we are going to skip to the USJ. So, Deku is on the bus, and they're driving, and then not All Might, Uraraka walks up to him and sits down, as she says, "I can't wait!" Deku kind of realizes that there's a slight similarity in the voices he's heard, but he doesn't think it's her. As she's like, "I just can't wait for this. It's going to be so much fun. I wonder what we're going to practice. We're probably going to practice all kinds of things, huh, Deku?" As Deku says, "Yeah, apparently it has a fire zone, a flood zone, an earthquake zone, all types of different scenarios for us to practice. So I can't wait." So when they arrive, 13, gives them the rundown of how quirks can be dangerous and how heroes are there to protect. And she uses Bakugo's quirk as an example. As, they're talking, they walk inside and Kirishima says, "Wow, they even have fake villains." Man, I'm sorry, I keep on stuttering. So sorry. Like I was saying. They even have fake hero. Why do I keep on wanting to say heroes? They even have fake villains. As they all look down to see the portal being created as the Nomu walks through. Deku takes out his brochure and starts reading it as he says, "They don't have fake villains." As 13 turns around to see the villains, she's like, "Aizawa, get the kids out of here. I'll go attack them." As Aizawa says, "Stay back, missus. I'll take care of them. You protect the kids." As she says, "Come on, I can handle myself." As Aizawa says, as he runs down to the villains. As Kirogiri sneaks up on them, Deku turns around to be teleported to the flood zone with Froppy and Mineta. Deku opens his eyes to see he's underwater. As he sees a shark swimming up to him, Deku realizes he's in his habitat. As Deku switches to his 10% form and grows his tail out and grows his fins on his back. As Deku swims under the water and the shark villain says, "Wow, impressive. He's pretty fast. I can't wait to devour him." as he chases after Deku. As Deku is so much faster than him, he quickly gets up behind him and bites the villain in the villain's dorsal fin. As the villain screams in pain underwater, Froppy dives down into the water to see Deku rip the villain's fin off. As the villain starts grabbing for his back, Deku bites the villain in the neck and drags him down even deeper under the water. As the villain reaches his arm out for Froppy, as he's pulled down to the bottom of the water. Froppy's kind of scared after seeing either another villain do that, or the person she suspects, Deku, do that. So Deku gets up to the top after his predator instincts caused him to kill a villain. He climbs up onto the boat to see hundreds of villains surrounding them. Well, maybe not hundreds, but yeah, I'm just going to say hundreds. Hundreds of villains surrounding them. Mineta starts freaking out, but then Deku says, "I got this." As Deku charges up his atomic breath, as Deku's fins on his back, dorsal fins, start glowing blue, as Froppy realizes it was him who devoured that villain. As Deku unleashes his atomic breath on all of the villains down below, killing all of them. So Deku, Froppy, and Mineta swim to the bay to see Eraserhead about to be killed. Deku realizes he can't go more than 10% or he will be caught by either Aizawa or 13, wherever she was. So Deku gets out of the water and charges up his atomic breath and unleashes it on the Nomu, pushing the Nomu into a rock boulder, causing it to collapse onto the Nomu. Deku quickly rushes over to Aizawa and throws him over to Froppy and tells Froppy to go tell Ida to run for backup. As the Nomu climbs out of the boulders and looks at Deku and looks back at Shigaraki. As Shigaraki says, "Kill that brat!" As the Nomu looks back at Deku, Deku realizes this isn't gonna be an easy match. As the Nomu launches at Deku and grabs Deku by the face and slams him into the ground and starts running with Deku, just burrowing Deku under the ground as the Nomu is running at almost 55 miles an hour in a circle, just literally digging a hole out of Deku's head. As he's just running and running, he eventually gets to a wall and slams Deku into the wall and starts laying into Deku with almost 50 punches in 10 seconds. The Nomu isn't even using its full power. Deku is coughing up blood. He's losing teeth. Deku's predator instinct wants to kick in, but Deku realizes he can't. He mustn't let his predator instincts kick in. But the Nomu is just constantly punching him, and Deku realizes that if he doesn't use his higher, regeneration ability that would come with 50%, he's not going to survive to see All Might arrive. He's not going to. But Deku realizes he must hold out. So Deku only increases his strength up by 1 in order to not only strengthen his durability, but regen. As Deku's just being laid into, Uraraka sees Deku just being non-stop punched and beaten. She runs at the Nomu and attempts to touch the Nomu, But the Nomu reacts so quickly. It grabs Uraraka by the hair and spins her around and throws her into a palm tree, breaking Uraraka's back. As she falls to the ground in agony, she screams, "My back! Ah!" As Deku says, "You shouldn't have done that!" As with his 11%, he punches the Nomu in the stomach, causing a giant hole in the Nomu's stomach. But the Nomu quickly regenerates and then punches Deku even harder, punching Deku straight through the wall. As the Nomu rushes at Deku and throws Deku back into the USJ and then launches back at him. Deku realizes that he's going to have to hurry this up, or he will, and then right as he was about to finish that sentence in his head, he feels almost 50% punches from the Nomu straight to Deku's chest. Deku coughs up so much blood that you would think he's dying, which he literally is. As Deku's launched straight into another wall, leaving a giant imprint on the wall. Deku slides down the wall, leaving a little blood trail as the Nomu starts rushing towards Deku at high speeds. Deku wonders if this is going to be it. Is this going to be his death? As he hears two little voices in his head. No, they're not in his head. As they say, "Don't die yet! You have to fight! Don't worry, Mothra will soon help, but you have to keep fighting, or else she will lose hope. You have to keep fighting." As Deku gets up, being encouraged by these voices, he launches at the Nomu and locks punches with the Nomu. As Deku screams at the top of his lungs, the Nomu does the same. As they're just sitting there in a giant power struggle, Deku knees the Nomu in the stomach, but then it's immediately knocked back at him, causing him to trip up. But the Nomu grabs him by the neck and lifts him up. As the Nomu starts strangling him, Deku puts 30% into his hand and creates his giant claws as he cuts the Nomu's arm clean off. But the Nomu regenerates it and punches Deku in the jaw straight into the same wall he just had been at. Deku realizes he's probably gonna die. But Deku gets up, coughing up blood. He looks at the Nomu and says, "I'm not going down yet," as the Nomu grabs Deku by the face and lifts him up, and then slams him into the ground, John Cena style. As the Nomu gets back up after slamming Deku into the ground, Deku's face is horribly deformed. Deku has so many broken bones and ribs. As Deku can feel one of his lungs had been pierced by one of his rib bones. He can feel the life draining away from him as he keeps resisting the predator instincts, wanting to go ham. He sits there in a pool of his own blood, waiting for death to arrive. As Uraraka screams, "No!" as two large butterfly wings sprout from Uraraka's back, as she turns into Mothra. As the two voices Deku heard earlier start to play the same song he heard when he fought All Might. As Uraraka launches at the Nomu in 100% Mothra spirit form. As she arrives at the Nomu, she quickly tries to pierce the Nomu with her legs, but the Nomu dodges and punches Uraraka through the USJ dome into the air. As the Nomu launches back up at Uraraka, Uraraka quickly dodges and stabs the Nomu straight through the back as she uses her stinger to impale straight through the Nomu's leg as the Nomu starts to feel paralyzed. Uraraka bites down on the Nomu's head and tries to rip the head off, but her paralytic isn't working as the Nomu quickly spins around, breaking Uraraka's legs and stinger. As Uraraka grabs the Nomu with her 2 functioning legs, as she starts to fly up into the air, unleashing her toxins to try and put the thing to sleep without her stinger. As she can hear her 2 fairies telling her, "You can do it, Mothra! You can do it, Mothra! If we were to call on you for help over time, over sea, like a wave, we know you'd come, our guardian angel!" As Uraraka starts carrying the Nomu up into the atmosphere, as she lets the Nomu go, and then quickly rushes back down at the Nomu, pushing the Nomu back into the ground, as they both are engulfed in fire as they enter the atmosphere back to Earth. As Uraraka can feel her wings starting to burn up, she lets go as the Nomu starts falling down, as the Nomu's regeneration starts to fail as it's getting burned fiber by fiber. As the Nomu hits the ground of the USJ, causing a huge crater. As Uraraka flies back down there, she's looking around for the Nomu. As Deku screams, "Behind you!" As Uraraka turns around to see the Nomu. As the Nomu, in its charred, weakened form, punches Uraraka straight through the USJ dome, knocking her out. Deku screams, "No!" And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I'm going to end this episode off. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Remember, 50 likes and I will continue this video. Hope you guys enjoyed.